All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a good break. Now we're going to be doing English for the next 2 periods, of course. And as always, you're going to be divided into your 4 groups. I want to go through very quickly what it is you're going to be doing with your 4 groups. It's the same as usual, more or less. Group 1, over here, you're going to be doing your spelling. And of course, whether you're in Team Alpha, Team Beta, or Team Omega. So again, Team Alpha, okay, if you're in Team Alpha, you're going to choose 7 of your spelling words. You're going to write a complete sentence, okay? In each sentence must contain a conjunction. So we've been working on conjunctions over the last week, okay? Make sure that your sentence has a conjunction somewhere near the middle. And of course, you're going to underline that conjunction, highlight that conjunction. As well, you're going to underline the nouns and verbs in that sentence. If you're in Team Beta, instead of 7, you're going to choose 5 words, of course. You're going to underline the nouns and verbs in that sentence as well. And with Team Omega, you're going to choose 3 words and write a complete sentence, as well as underline the nouns and the verbs. Group number 2 at the back, your journal for this week. Okay, this week I've changed it up a little bit, and instead of giving you a topic, I've given you a picture. So if everyone can take a look at the picture here, and this is actually taken from a movie. I won't say which one, but it is taken from a movie, a very old one. And here's my question. What's happening in this picture? So take a look. Okay, take a look there. What do you see? Anyone? Yeah, what do you see? Right, okay. So yeah, there's several people around the table. Okay, what type of people? What do you think? Yes? Yeah. Okay, how do you know they're important? How do you know they're important people? Yeah, by the way they're dressed, right? Yeah, some of them are wearing suits, military outfit, possibly. If you make the picture bigger, you'll see that there are some in military. Okay. And here's what I'd like you to do. Is there anything else you see, by the way, before I move on? What else do you see in the photo? Yes. What do you see? Maps of what? Okay, yeah, North America and Asia. Yeah, Asia. Okay, so North America and Asia, and of course, we're all sitting around a big table. Alright. Okay, so again, what is happening in this picture? Who are these people? Are they from the same country? Are they from different countries? Are they from the United Nations? Are they friends? Are they... Who are they? What are they trying to solve? What's the problem? Okay, so it says here the people at this table are very important. Why have they all come together? And what are they discussing? What are they talking about? Is there a possible war that's about to happen? Are they talking about some other big problem in the world? Possibly something that's going on right now, for example, or some other major issue. It can be anything you want, okay? And was the issue solved, and if so, how? Okay, so of course I want 3 paragraphs, all right? What's in the first paragraph? What do I want in the first paragraph? Always. What do I want? A beginning, of course. What do I want to know in the beginning? What do I want? No one? Okay. Do I want you to tell me how the problem was solved? No. Okay, so what do I want to know? Okay, so I want to know when is this happening? Where is it? Okay. You can even tell me who are these people. Alright? But I don't want you to tell me what is the problem yet. Okay? Not quite yet. right? That'll be more for when you get into your second paragraph, okay? There you're going to discuss what they're talking about, how they're trying to solve this problem, okay? And what do they come to some sort of agreement? Are they going back and forth? Okay? And finally, your third paragraph is always will be your conclusion, the end of the story, wrap it up. Okay? And in the conclusion, you're basically stating again what you have at the beginning. Okay? So the two buns of a hamburger, okay, almost say essentially the same thing. And of course, in the middle, you got your meat, lettuce, tomatoes, and all that juicy good stuff. And that's where all the main information is going to be. Okay? Third group number 3 over here. Okay? Yesterday, I read 5 chapters out of Wonder to you guys. And if you need to go back and listen to it, okay, I've also attached the video of myself reading the 5 chapters to you guys. And I put up several questions on the teams for chapters 6 and 10. So please go in there and answer the questions, okay? And again, in full sentences. Group number 4, okay? Group number 4, you will be working on your advertising commercial, okay? So, as you know so far, right now you've come up with a product, you came up with a logo, you came up with a slogan, you chose the color combination that you want to go with, and what it all represents, okay? Is it friendly, youthful, exciting? Is it more of a peaceful color, more of a natural color, okay? Now you're going to start your commercial, okay? You wrote up your commercial last week, okay? So you have all that information down in your book so far. So for this period, you're going to go over to the music room with the assistant, okay? And you're going to film your commercial. Next week, you'll have a chance to work on editing the commercial and making it, finalizing it for the presentation. Okay? I do have the YouTube attachment for the commercials that we looked at. Okay? And how to make an interesting commercial. How to make sure that you have the slogan. Okay? Make sure you have your slogan somewhere in the commercial. Okay? Actually, one last thing I want to add for journals. I forgot, so I'll go back to that for a second. Make sure when you're doing your journal, group number 2 in your book, what goes on the left side? What goes on the left side? Always, before you even start your story, what do I want? Yes. Brainstorming, exactly. Okay? Brainstorming on the left side, even if you're not going to use it, first thing that pops into your head, write it down. Okay? So that's going to go on the left side of your book. Once you've done that, what's the first thing I want on the right side of your book? At the very, very top, what do I want? Yes. Title, exactly. What's the name of your story? Okay? And make it an interesting title. That way you're going to get my interest. You're going to make me want to read more. Okay? And of course, the date at the top. Okay? As always, everything is due on Thursday. Wednesday, of course, you need to make sure that you take your book home. Last week I had only half of the people return it, signed by their parents. Okay, so I had to write a lot of emails. Not happy. This week, I want to go for 100%. Okay, so Wednesday night, take it home. Someone needs to sign it. Finish it if any of this is still not finished. Okay, bring it back Thursday, hand it in, and hopefully I don't have to write any emails this week. Any questions? All right, go.
Snow. The first snow of winter hit right there. Thanksgiving break. School was closed, so we got an extra day of vacation. I was glad about that, because I was bummed out about the whole August thing, and I just wanted some time to chill without having to see him every day. Also, waking up to the snow day is just about my favorite thing in the world. I love that feeling when you first open your eyes in the morning and you don't even know why everything seems different than usual. Then it hits you. Everything is quiet. No cars honking, no buses going down the street. Then you run over to the window, and outside, everything is covered in white. The sidewalks, the trees, the cars on the street, your window panes. And when that happens on school day, and you find out your school is closed, I don't care how old I get, I'm always going to think that that's the best feeling in the world. I'm never going to be one of those grown-ups that uses an umbrella when it's snowing. Ever. Dad's school was closed too, and he took me and Jamie sledding down Skeleton Hill in the park. They say a little kid broke his neck while sledding down the hill a few years ago, but I don't know if this is actually true or just one of those legends. On the way home, I spotted this banged up wooden sled kind of propped up against the old Indian rock monument. Dad said to leave it. It was just garbage, but something told me it would make the greatest sled ever. So Dad let me drag it home, and I spent the rest of the day fixing it up. I super glued the broken slats together and wrapped some heavy-duty white duct tape around them for extra strength. Then I spray painted the whole thing white with the paint I had gotten for the alabaster sphinx I was making for the Egyptian Museum project. When it was all dry, I painted lightning in gold letters on the middle piece of wood, and I made a little lightning bolt symbol above the letters. It looked pretty professional, I have to say. Dad was like, "Wow, Jackie, you were right about the sled." The next day, we went back to Skeleton Hill with lightning. It was the fastest thing I'd ever written. So much faster than the plastic sleds we'd been using. And because it had gotten warmer outside, the snow had become crunchier and wetter. Good packing snow. Me and Jamie took turns on lightning all afternoon. We were in the park until our fingers were frozen and our lips had turned a little blue. Dad practically had to drag us home. By the end of the weekend, the snow had started turning gray and yellow. And then a rainstorm turned most of the snow into slush. Then we got back to school on Monday. There was no snow left. It was rainy and yucky the first day back from vacation. A slushy day. That's how I was feeling inside too. I nodded, "Hey," to August, the first time I saw him. We were in front of our lockers. He nodded, "Hey," back. I wanted to tell him about lightning, but I didn't. Fortune favors the bold. Mr. Brown's December precept was, "Fortune favors the bold." We were all supposed to write a paragraph about some time in our lives when we did something very brave, and how, because of it, something good happened to us. I thought about this a lot, to be truthful. I have to say that I think the bravest thing I ever did was become friends with August. But I couldn't write that down, of course. I was afraid we'd have to read these out loud, or Mr. Brown would put them up on the bulletin board like he does sometimes. So instead, I wrote this lame thing down about how I used to be afraid of the ocean when I was little. It was dumb, but I couldn't think of anything else. I wonder what August wrote about. He probably had a lot of things to choose from. Private school. My parents are not rich. I say this because people sometimes think that everyone who goes to private school is rich, but that isn't true with us. Dad's a teacher and Mom's a social worker, which means they don't have the kinds of jobs where people make gazillions of dollars. We used to have a car, but when we sold it, when Jamie started kindergarten at Beecher Prep, we don't live in a big townhouse or in one of those doorman buildings along the park. We live on the top floor of a 5-story walk-up. We rent from an old lady named Donna Petra, all the way on the other side of Broadway. that's code for the section of North River Heights where people don't want to park their cars. Me and Jamie share a room. I overhear my parents talk about things like, can we do without an air conditioner one more year? Or maybe we can work 2 jobs this summer. So today at recess, I was hanging out with Julian and Henry and Miles. Julian, who everyone knows as Reg, was like, I hate that I have to go back to Paris this Christmas. It's so boring. Dude, it's like Paris. I said like an idiot. Believe me, it's so boring, he said. My grandmother lives in this house in the middle of nowhere. It's like an hour away from Paris, in this tiny, tiny, tiny village. I swear to God, nothing happens there. I mean, it's like, oh wow, there's another fly on the wall. Look, there's a new dog sleeping on the sidewalk. Yippee. I laughed. Sometimes Julian can be very funny. Though my parents are talking about throwing a big party this year instead of going to Paris. I hope so. What are you doing over break? Said Julian. Just hanging out, I said. You're so lucky, he said. I hope it snows again, I answered. I got this new sled that is so amazing. I was about to tell them about lightning, but Miles started talking first. I got a new sled too, he said. My dad got it from Hammacher Schlemmer. It's so state-of-the-art. How could a sled be state-of-the-art? Asked Julian. It was like $800 or something. Whoa! We should all go sledding and have a race down Skeleton Hill, I said. That hill is so lame, answered Julian. Are you kidding? I said. Some kid broke his neck there. That's why they call it Skeleton Hill. Julian narrowed his eyes and looked at me like I was the biggest moron in the world. It's called Skeleton Hill because it was an ancient Indian burial ground. Duh, he said. Anyway, it should be called Garbage Hill now. It's so freaking junky. Last time I was there, it was like gross with soda cans and broken bottles and stuff. He shook his head. I left my old sled there, said Miles. It was the crappiest piece of junk. And someone took it, too. Maybe a hobo wanted to go sledding, laughed Julian. Where did you leave it? I said. By the big rock at the bottom of the hill. And I went back there the next day, and it was gone. I couldn't believe someone actually took it. Here's what we can do, said Julian. Next time it snows, my dad could drive us all up to his golf course in Winchester that makes Skeleton Hill look like nothing. Hey, Jack, where are you going? I had started to walk away. I've got to get a book out of my locker. I lied. I just wanted to get away from them fast. I didn't want anyone to know that I was the hobo who had taken the sled. In science. I'm not the greatest student in the world. I know some kids actually like school, but I honestly can't say I do. I like some parts of school, like PE and computer class, and lunch and recess. But all in all, I'd be fine without school. The thing I hate the most about school is all the homework we get. It's not enough that we have to sit through class after class and try to stay awake while they fill our heads with all this stuff we'll probably never need to know. Like how to figure out the surface area of a cube, or what the difference is between kinetic and potential energy. I'm like, who cares? I've never ever heard my parents say the word kinetic in my entire life. I hate science the most out of all my classes. We get so much work, it's not even funny. And my teacher, Miss Rubin, is so strict about everything. Even the way we write our headings at the top of the pages. I once got 2 points off a homework assignment because I didn't put the date on top. Crazy stuff. When me and August were still friends, I was doing okay in science because August sat next to me and always let me copy his notes. August has the neatest handwriting of anybody I've ever seen. Who's a boy. Even his script is neat, up and down perfectly, with really small, round, loopy letters. But now that we're ex-friends, it's bad, because I can't ask him to let me copy his notes anymore. So I was kind of scrambling today, trying to take notes about what Miss Rubin was saying. My handwriting is awful. when all of a sudden she started talking about the 5th grade science fair project, how we all had to choose a science project to work on. While she was saying this, I was thinking, we just finished the freaking Egypt project. Now we have to start a whole new thing? And then, in my head, I was going, no. Like that kid in Home Alone with his mouth hanging open, with his hands on his face. That was the face I was making on the inside. And then I thought of those pictures of melting ghost faces I've seen somewhere where the mouths are open wide and they're screaming. And then, all of a sudden, this picture flew into my head, this memory, and I knew that what Summer had meant by bleeding scream. So weird how it just came to me in a flash. Someone in homeroom had dressed up in a bleeding scream costume for Halloween. I remember seeing him a few desks away from me, and then I remember not seeing him again. Oh man, it was August. All of this hit me in science class while the teacher was talking. Oh man, I've been talking to Julian about August. Oh man, now I understood. I was so mean. I didn't even know why. I'm not even sure what I said, but it was bad. It was only a minute or two. It's just that I knew Julian and everybody thought I was so weird for hanging out with August all the time, and I felt stupid. And I don't know why I said that stuff. I was just going along. I was stupid. I am stupid. Oh gosh. He was supposed to come as Boba Fett. I would never have said that stuff in front of Boba Fett. That was him, that bleeding scream, sitting at the desk looking over at us. The long white mask with a fake squirting blood. The mouth open wide, like the ghoul was crying. That was him. I felt like I was going to puke. Partners. I didn't hear a word of what Miss Rubin was saying after that. Blah, blah, blah. Science fair project. Blah, blah, blah. Partners. Blah, blah. It was like the way grown-ups talk in Charlie Brown movies. Like someone talking underwater. And all of a sudden, Miss Rubin started pointing to kids around the class. Reed and Tristan, Maya and Max, Charlotte and Zymina, August and Jack. She pointed to us when she said this. Miles and Amos, Julian and Henry, Savannah and... I didn't hear the rest. Huh? I said. The bell rang. So don't forget to get together with your partners to choose a project from the list, guys, said Miss Rubin as everyone started taking off. I looked up at August, but he had already put his backpack on and was practically out the door. I must have had a stupid look on my face because Julian came over and said, "Looks like you and your best bud are partners." He was smirking when he said this. I hated him so much right then. "Hello, Earth the Jack Will," he said when I didn't answer him. Shut up, Julian. I was putting my loose leaf binder away in my backpack and just wanted him away from me. "You must be so bummed out you got stuck with him," he said. "You should tell Miss Rubin you want to switch partners. I bet she'd let you." "No, she wouldn't," I said. "Ask her." "No, I don't want to." "Miss Rubin," Julian said, turning around and raising his hand at the same time. Miss Rubin was erasing the chalkboard at the front of the room. She turned when she heard her name. "No, Julian," I whisper screamed. "What is it, boys?" she said impatiently. "Could we switch partners if we wanted to?" said Julian, looking very innocent. "Me and Jack had this science fair project idea we wanted to work on together." "Well, I guess we can arrange that," she started to say. No, it's okay, Miss Rubin," I said quickly, heading out the door. "Bye." Julian ran after me. "Why'd you do that?" he said, catching up to me at the stairs. "We could have been partners. You don't have to be friends with that freak if you don't want to be, you know?" And that's why I punched him, right in the mouth.